Okay. We got a big ting of piss in the kitchen. Cleared the cards on all cameras. We got plenty of time.
Fuck.
We got all types of time. He's doing vocal warmers. We got all types of time. Nancy Pelosi's husband was attacked with a hammer.
Was her husband?
Was she?
That happened. That did happen.
That
yeah.
was a Freudian slip I had.
Hopefully she. I mean, was she? I mean, what?
Yeah. Her husband.
Yeah.
Not her.
God willing. No,
Yeah.
that really happened. Apparently somebody broke into their house and like.
This was in the past, though, right? This was
like,
or this
yesterday.
just happened.
Sounds like the fucking 2022 Riddler. Did that shit.
It was literally
Nancy.
Literally, it's the most like movie shit. Apparently, a dude broke into their house, attacked Paul Pelosi, and ran around the house screaming.
Paul Pelosi.
Stupid.
That's what I meant.
I'm Paul Pelosi.
I'm Paulie Pelosi, and I'm running for mayor.
Yeah.
My wife knows what all the stocks are going to do.
That's the real vocal warm up. Paul Pelosi was pinged with a ball peen. But he apparently ran around the house going, "Where's Nancy?"
Wait, the guy with the hammer?
Yeah,
that's hard.
Allegedly.
That's hard as
Paul
fuck.
Pelosi.
I hope we get more hammer assassinations. Frankly, I mean, the Shinzo Abe one was crazy.
That shit was insane.
Everyone was joking it was the TF2 skin. He
Yeah.
came out with the Scout's shotgun. And
Right.
that was
A fucking Banjo-Kazooie gun.
yeah. That's like what all these fucking Sigma male think. You'll never be him. You'll never be Shinzo Abe's killer.
No.
That's the real Sigma.
Yeah.
He just did that shit on him by himself.
Right.
He's like, let me just figure out how that works.
Not trying to please anybody. That was for him.
I guarantee he wasn't on any forums. Maybe just anonymously to figure out some schematics of certain.
Yeah,
times,
maybe some analog books.
The weird thing about that was a lot of people over here very clearly didn't realize how insane that actually was. Like they don't actually understand the gravity of like how insane that actually was. Like on so many different levels. Like I tried to explain to people, I was like, this is like the equivalent of like Obama or like George W. Bush or someone getting blasted doing a speaking event.
Not only blasted, but blasted with a Fuzzy Lumpkins boomstick.
Yeah.
Like a fucking...
With Ash from the Evil Dead sawed off shotgun, but homemade.
Right.
Like
on a bike.
Right.
Wasn't he riding a bike?
No, not when he shot. No.
Oh, he pulled up on a bike, I think.
He did the like
pulled off.
He did the shit where you like ghost ride the bike and just walk off.
He was Supermaning the bike.
He got tackled after he did it. There was no like chase or anything. Yeah, no.
Get him.
The Forrest Gump run.
Yeah.
Now the funny thing is like he shot once and missed him. And everyone scattered except Shinzo Abe.
Like,
Shinzo Abe literally does this like.
It's like.
Literally, if you watch the video,
John Travolta Pulp Fiction.
If you watch the video, everyone scatters. Shinzo Abe goes, and then it's like, oh,
yeah,
oh man.
So he could have survived that.
Yeah,
in the security, complete ass. Obviously, he has security there. They let this man get off 2 shots with his makeshift Ratchet and Clank gun.
Right.
How many analogies can we?
Yeah. Ratchet and Clank was the first
Roadhog gun from Overwatch.
Right. We fucking.
There was a claw chain that came out of the gun.
Right.
Right.
It's funny.
It's like a Courage the Cowardly Dog. Fucking double barrel.
Codename Kids Next Door invents some shit.
Yeah.
That's Jimmy Neutron shotgun.
Right. Imagine if he went brain blast while killing the prime minister.
There's so much to unpack with that, though. Mm-hmm. Just like the propaganda of the deed piece of it, the Japanese cultural context and response part of it.
Mm-hmm.
who Shinzo Abe actually was, and like how he was basically a fascist, like a soft fascist publicly.
Yeah.
So many layers, but like when I would talk to people out here as it was happening, everyone was just kind of like, whoa.
Like,
wow.
That's generally where I come to it. It's just like, shit is crazy.
Right.
No,
Like,
but it's like,
yo, it's wild out here. You better watch your back.
I'm talking about like an ethnocentric, like, whoa,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
wild. You know, like,
Yeah. Right.
Right.
like nothing, I don't care about anything that happens outside of this
I
country.
think about it like we are collectively, we're losing our minds.
Yeah.
Like we're willing to
Right.
do whatever at this
Right.
point.
Right. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Like a woe that excludes indigenous people. Somehow.
The ball peen hammer one is like, I just feel like we're gonna see more weird thrifty assassinations.
I'm
Thrifty,
I'm ready for that. Just
Etsy
like-
assassinations.
Yeah. If Pinterest had like, this is a million different ways you can kill someone theoretically, allegedly.
Right. Kill somebody.
That would be wild.
Kill somebody with a knit hat.
Yeah.
Etsy assassinations. Wow.
Imagine
Yo.
if Nancy Pelosi, God forbid, like was killed with a hammer. That would be the wildest historical event
what a
in U.S.
crazy-
just
history.
at the level of like the feds are like
Psychotic.
the feds are like, we let this happen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like this
Yeah.
happened. You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
I feel like just the fact that her husband got beat up with a hammer is gonna be in
so
history
he
books.
did get beat up.
He's in recovery right now.
Wow.
Goodness.
Yeah. Dude was in the house.
Paul
But if-
Pelosi.
But like it feels like one of those, like when that dude was like, Black Lives Matter, fucking vandalized my house, and he was standing there with like a burnt American flag and blacks
Right.
rule
Blacks
on the
rule.
fucking on the driveway. It
Right.
feels like that.
Yeah.
Like who the fuck would? First of all, if you walked into somebody's house with a hammer, do you think somebody would answer you if you were like, "Where's Nancy?
Right.
Tell me where she is"? I'd be like, "No."
It's just insanity. I mean, it's like, I don't know. Like, I think that Riddler character really is the real. That's the pulse.
Yeah. Have we
is
talked
that
about
shit.
that movie?
We've talked about it's kind of like implied sort of fascistic undertones.
Yeah.
Or it's inevitably a pro-police movie.
Yeah.
I want to speak to the propaganda of the D piece for a second though.
Meaning with the Shinzo Abe, you're saying? Or just in general, the concept
Yeah, the
itself?
scope of political assassinations or whatever.
Mhm.
And like in the context of there being this collective anger and like some would call it collective psychosis, whatever you want to call it. Like, and like, I want to speak to it at the level of like, the first layer of the conversation to me is like, there needs to 110% be like an acknowledgement of like, yeah, when you push people to this place, what do you think is going to happen? Right. Like that, there's no question. Like that's like the first level. Like whether people are of sane mind or thinking, whatever that might be, or they have this very clear, you know, political motive or a mix of the two, you know, like, that's the first part of it. And it's also, I think another part of that is like empathizing with that. Like people are angry and like pissed off, and certain people are key players amongst ruling class, like global ruling class forces. So people are going to look at you. It's literally like the 21 Savage clip, XXL interview where he's like, if I got more money, then people going to be coming for me. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to be good. I don't want to have to look over my back, you know?
Right.
But then like the other layer of it to me is like, God damn, nigga, all that energy all that energy and focus like put into that and put into other things too, like fucking Minecraft. Fuck it. It's like all this, all that energy
just in general. Yeah.
put into all these things, but the shit that could actually get us free now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the solution, like it comes from a place of desperation or depression or isolation. Like no matter the context, I feel like that's usually the case. So it makes sense all across the board, but you're like, damn though, like how could we harness that focus and that energy to come up with revolutionary schemes that are actually like long term and can be sustained? And
I mean, it's like you use the phrase collective psychosis, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the state that we're already in. And I feel like just somebody being pushed to that point is just like the logical conclusion of that. It's like we're in a position where there's so many like there's so many layers deep. I cannot figure out how to start this sentence. Society's like an onion, you know what I'm saying? I feel like
Society has layers.
It's like you got to peel back so many fucking layers before you actually
society has layers. Ogres have layers.
Ogres have layers. But you got to peel back so many layers before you actually see the like just the baseline of what the fuck is like reality actually is. Mm-hmm. There's so much denial going on, just so many layers of like the concept of the nation state, this whole
like
concept
dissonance.
of voting, like it's just like we built up so many deep levels of cognitive dissonance to where, I mean, that's why we have so many people that truly believe that there's no alternative to capitalism. It's like, and so it really feels like, you know, what other option do you have for some people but to go and assassinate somebody or like go to fucking Home Depot and buy a hammer. You know what I'm saying?
I always
It's
think
like, talked about it before. It's like if you can't, if I don't see it or I'm not exposed to it, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. And
so there's like an access to information part of it. There's a
Right.
lack of structural institutional support part of it. There's like all these layers to why someone wouldn't even get at the surface what we're talking about right now.
And there's it's like there's a point where we have to admit that all roads in the way society's built right now lead to violence, whether it's tacitly or implicitly in some way, but like
or passively, like through economic means, firing people.
Exactly. It's like all of this shit. It's like
patriarchy, white supremacy,
wage slavery, all of these things. It's like, I mean, I keep just like telling my jokes on this show, but like I've been doing one that's just like, get a fucking job. Having somebody tell you that you didn't get a job is literally just them being like, I think you should die. I hope somebody else does. I hope somebody else doesn't, but like,
it is.
I think you should die.
Yeah.
You know? Or I at least don't think you explicitly deserve to live, you know?
I want to stay within this, but I just also have always like that end of history shit always fascinates me because I really do feel like I grew up thinking like, wow, the 60s and 70s were such a crazy time. There was like all these protests and there was assassinations and it was violent in New York City and it was like it was unsafe. And now we live in modern day where it's like it's safe and things are better and we've fixed some of the problems. And I feel like people still do think the world is like a safer place than it used to be.
Yeah.
And it's arguably worse. It's
I
arguably more unsafe than it used to be.
Yeah. I would argue like people like us and the people around us are just so deeply entrenched in this like neoliberal hell where they just like violence doesn't directly feel like an option for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying?
I was just going to say, you know, the analogy I would use? The powder keg is more packed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
When the shit goes off, it's going to be bigger and bigger than ever before each time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I was saying that, I realized I said that and right after saying that like a lot of people feel pushed to violence and realizing how that's conflicting, but that reconciles those two points.
I just think about how Hasbulla is like exists and like he's from Dagestan. I looked him up. He's from Dagestan, which is close to Turkey.
He's an ethnic minority though. People associate with him with like Russia, I guess. But he's a I'm saying I think on the surface,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
like, I don't know. They probably look and they're like, oh, like Chechen, like he's
Right.
Chechnyan, like.
But like the fact that he's, you know, leaving Drake on scene and touring the world, it's
Right.
like, this is a bad omen of like
Yeah.
where, because think of how much extraction is happening from just that one person.
Right.
How many people are making millions of dollars off of him?
Right. Did he? I want to believe.
How is this
just,
related, by the way, to what we
Just because, like, I don't know. I feel like it's a reflection of what the fucking world is. It's like you're talking about energy going in the wrong place. He's
Well-
a million. I mean,
Well, he also just signed a contract with UFC, so there's the violence right there.
no, but seriously, it's a bad omen that there's like a little person touring the world like a king, and like I don't know. Everyone's like, oh, Hasbulla. It's like it's just another distraction, you know. I don't know, something about it, man. And he's also like a Bolsonaro fan. I don't know if you knew.
Is
that,
he really?
but yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dog, that's so
He tweeted
fucking
like,
weird.
"Let's go Bolsonaro" or some shit like
What
that.
the fuck?
You can look it up.
Did he tweet that recently? Because he just
Yeah.
he might be disappointed right now.
Oh yeah. Isn't he sick?
No, Bolsonaro just lost.
Oh, okay.
To Lula.
Gotcha. He's always
Yeah,
sick.
yeah. I was just thinking yesterday, like there's the possibility that like the much more likely possibility, just to not sound insane, the much more likely possibility that we're trending toward fascism and we're just getting deeper entrenched and the powder keg is loaded, or it's all a crazy psyop to just get people to be super relieved when we vote in these like slightly less insane, like center left
Can be
politicians. You know,
both. Can be both.
It could be both.
Time.
it could be both because those people do have to have a voter base.
It's almost like they're
But, like-
steering where the fire is going in the house. It's like
Yeah,
It's
right.
like-
It's a controlled
it's
burn.
on fire for
It's a
sure.
controlled
But
burn.
it's like, let's do this
Right.
and this.
Right.
Oh,
They just like
it's a psyop.
Shepherd, go walk through that door.
MK Ultra.
why do you care so much about freedom?
Yeah.
That's always the quote I go to. But
Well,
like,
we always mix. You always think I'm doing Joker when I'm doing Giamatti.
oh no, I know you're doing
Oh, okay,
Giamatti.
but
I just
you-
can't do a Giamatti.
Well, then the Paul Giamatti Joker is another perfect.
Yeah.
I just want to. I
only
want to say
burning
something
my
that say something that will be obvious,
Very poor choice of words.
like to us, like we understand it, but just like the importance of like understanding. I don't know that we've talked about it on here before, even though we talk about it all the time, but like the distinction between how people commonly conceive of quote unquote revolution and like social rebellion, like
Right.
understanding that we could go and take out all of these individuals, you know, that we don't like in Congress and amongst the ruling class, and none of that would guarantee a
Right.
better world, systems change, anything.
Right.
You know, and that's like beyond the piece of like, yeah, there's a whole apparatus around all of those individuals just waiting to just sink into the gaps that could be left.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes to the level of like, yeah, it's like it's social organization, social relations that are at the root of the problem. It's like
Right.
that's the foundation of the state, government, ruling class power, all of these different things. And in order to get free, be happier, have better lives, we literally have to change how we relate to one another. And wherever that converges in terms of labor, land, technology, hope that there's a critical mass of whatever that is that can then meet and confront the
Right.
state and all of these other things, or just deal with it in general.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like your politics. I think we're at a point where your politics can't just amount to I hate that guy right there.
Right.
And I feel like that's where we've been for so fucking long. It's just like, I don't like that guy. We need to get rid of him, and that'll change everything. But
Right.
like, Biden is
Right.
still building the wall.
Right,
He's finishing the wall.
You can think of it even just at that level of like electoral politics, not even propaganda of the deed, not even
outside,
that extreme.
Yeah, I mean, even outside of electoral politics,
in the
like,
workplace, it's like, oh, we got a new CEO. He's a really great guy. I mean, really great guy.
Right.
You know, it's like you are still a wage slave.
Right.
So what are you gonna do about that?
He put a fucking gaming room in the office so I can spend even more time at work.
Yeah. I feel like he actually sees me as a human. You know what I mean?
I feel like
it's like he could fire you now today.
Right.
Okay.
And then write a letter saying never hire this person too.
Right.
If you wanted to be so cruel.
Right.
Okay.
Let me put this sticky note on your back as you walk into all these other interviews.
Right. It's like, he sees me as expendable, or he sees me as a human and he thinks humans are expendable.
Right. Oh, fuck, man. I was thinking of something I forgot, but
Was it in French?
no. Fuck. Oh, like Herschel Walker. Like I don't. Maybe I'm fucked up, but like I don't give a fuck who any of these people are, man.
Raphael.
I don't give a shit what Trump is doing. I don't. Ron DeSantis. I don't know who the fuck that. I don't give a fuck. It's just another governor. It's another person. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it's
like,
all the same.
You know what I'm saying? Like. I feel like a certain generation, a certain age, a certain level of liberalism, you're like invested in these things.
Yeah, well,
like,
it's fucking.
I don't care.
It's sports at a certain point, you know.
Right.
It's literally the same shit. It's just like, are you watching the numbers? Are you voting? It's like
can I give
Idol shit? Man.
Can I give what I feel is the nuanced thing on this? Because I'm the same way. I'm the same way, but there's like multiple layers to it to me.
Yeah.
So, and again, it's another one of these things. It's like, I'm going to say one thing. Some people are going to hear that and start turning into rabid dogs. Just like, hold on for 1 second till I get to the other thing. And then we have a total picture here. So the first part of it is like harm reduction, right? It's like, well, it's just voting. It's just like going in and fucking marking a thing.
Right. It takes no time.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So there's that part. But also on the voting piece, we have to talk about how much people actually invest in that as a primary political like strategy and approach, and like the problem with that. So it's like both of those things at the same time on the electoral side. Then when you zoom out more, it's like, how much are we talking about the political circus and sports, as you called it, versus all of the direct things that we could be doing right now to make all of this obsolete, or even just the groundwork to getting people to start thinking and having an imagination to think that they could even meet their own needs, live without landlords, live without bosses, collectively, directly, democratically, all these different things.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, when you zoom out, and I feel like if you look at it in that way, organically over time, you're going to be like, yeah, I'm not really as invested in who's running for, you know, especially the more like when we get to like federal and like we're talking about like presidential elections and, you know, whatever. And it's like, so it's not to say that doesn't have like real time impact on our lives and people's lives. But it's just to say, how much are we talking about that versus, it's also when a lot of people, when they say direct action, so part of why I don't like that term, because it's like this vague notion of like, it's almost like people only think of like civil disobedience or something, like Martin Luther King Jr. or whatever. It's like, well, what about direct action in terms of literally building infrastructure or like literally like
it's one of those,
you know, like is the Merez with the Zapatistas, is that direct action to you or is that too far? That's too direct of some action for you.
Indirect action?
I mean it's one of those terms that's so easy to just like snatch and liberalize in the sense of just like it can be very.
I was just going to say mutual aid.
Right. It can be so individualistic where it's like, I think even more so than mutual aid, because when you look at it, when you look at the words mutual aid, like the fucking the liberatory roots are in the words. Direct action doesn't mean anything. It's like
I would argue it doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, in the sense of
communism means totalitarianism to people. It's like
I know.
literally.
I mean, in the sense of just like
anything can be taken.
I hear you, and I know, and I just mean in the sense of like, I can at least like look at the words mutual aid and explain to somebody why it's not what they think it is. Whereas direct action, geez, even regardless of just like this machine that we're in, you can look at those words and say like, okay, well, I sort my recycling. I did my part. It can be like that small. You can say that's direct act. Whereas mutual aid is like, if you just look at what those words are, it's first of all, it's aid that's mutual. So it implies that this like fucking soup kitchen shit is not it. You know what I'm saying? It's something that like there's a reciprocal element to it where it's a community building thing where it's like this has mutual benefit for each of us. It's selfish in the way that we talk about, in the sense that it also helps me, but it also helps me by helping you. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just this charity shit. Whereas direct action, I'm just like, I don't know. It's a phrase I can let go of. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I only say that to the point of like, they will take and warp anything.
Yes.
Nothing is safe. Nothing is. It's like almost at a certain level, we have to keep creating new language, new frameworks, new whatever to even get to what we're really talking about, and hope that it cuts through and doesn't scare people. But it's like,
we gotta stop getting railroaded in dogma.
I literally just
shit.
exactly.
I literally just tell people like, yeah, my friends and I have this show we're making, and it's like cooperative, and we're just trying to like make it so we don't have landlords and bosses.
That to me is the best thing that I could say.
Right.
Because at least then people go, oh, well, I want that.
Right.
It's very concrete. It's very specific. There's no fucking debating that. We know we get the notion of what it means to not have a landlord and a boss, even if it's just in the abstract. Oh, someone's not over me. So then we can shift the conversation to, well, how do you make that happen?
Right.
How do you make that happen?
Right. It is funny that there are people out there that believe in no landlords but bosses. For sure.
yeah.
That's the funny thing.
Yeah. Well, but I have to be top dog.
Yeah.
No matter the scenario.
Well,
like
need the brilliant people to have the authority.
Okay. So let me get this. Let me understand what you're talking about. So I'm the landlord.
Yeah.
I'm the landlord. In this little system you're talking about, I get to be the landlord. Is that right?
Yeah.
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 I'm in. I love it. I think that's great.
It's also
so no rules, okay? Oh wow!
But it's like
no bedtime. Is that the
so everybody.
I don't want a bedtime. Okay,
okay. Everybody,
eat your vegetables.
That is
governance.
Literally, I saw the faces of thousands of white boomers in your face when you did that.
Right,
like I just saw them all flash.
Not even boomers.
Right.
So everybody, close your eyes and we'll redistribute the land. Okay.
Right.
Okay. But it's also this like meritocracy myth baked into it, like, oh, there is a talented tenth of the human population that need them to oversee.
Yeah.
You realize that, right? Like some people just need that, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And it's like, it's kind of creepy. It's like you sound like you're trying to. It's like they would say we're on some cult shit, but like your whole rhetoric is like, we need a shepherd. We need shepherds at the largest scale. We need a big cult, one giant cult called America. Like,
and hey, look, if the shepherd is me, who's that? Who cares? Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the shepherd.
Well, do you know what it is when you start talking about like, oh, community or building this thing? They're thinking, oh, like in this very, very broad sort of like, they're not thinking about the trust and intentionality piece of it. You get what I'm saying? They think you're saying, oh, like tomorrow we'd get corralled into this physical space with a bunch of strangers that I don't know, like how we currently are in capitalism.
That would be a nightmare.
Right.
That would never work.
Right. And they're,
I'm pulling up the fucking TikTok.
Oh, wait, what TikTok?
The one I posted where everyone's like, yeah, in fucking La La Land, maybe that would work. About Mr. Beast shit.
Oh, bro.
Can I pull that up? Maybe I can just pull it up on the
Sure.
TV. Let me see.
Man. Yeah. I'll pull it up on the GameCube real quick.
All right, I think I
Need for
got.
Speed Underground.
It's got 60K.
Classic.
What does
I can send it to you.
the thumbnail look like?
It's my fucking dumb face. Like
How many
It's,
views? How many?
it's pink.
It's pink. It's my pink dick.
I'm
That's the
on.
thumbnail.
I'm
I just
thumbnail.
dropped it in our signal. I don't know.
I'm on. I don't have that on my.
Oh, okay.
computer.
Well, it's
What's the? Just give me like the caption. Like the caption
it's this.
says.
It's this one. It's this one.
Okay, 1, 2. Okay.
It's right after the one with the TV in it.
It's someone in a store.
Yeah.
It starts with
And they're
someone-
like, Mr. Beast.
Beast is not coming today due to security
I don't know how much money this would be, but imagine if Mr. Beast took all of the money he's ever made and then like bought land, decommodified it, and then people lived on it and didn't need landlords or bosses. And imagine if everyone who lived there just did enough so that it could sustain that life for everyone there. And no one was like necessarily in charge. It was just kind of like everyone living amongst each other in an eco community. That'd be cool.
Yeah, and this
There you
is
go. That's
and
my
this is
pitch.
and
Yeah.
the comments just suck
Just fucking
ass.
Yeah, they
Terrible.
suck
That's
butthole sauce.
that's called the Amish, I believe.
Yeah.
That's literally what people tried to do in the past, and now I'm here.
What does that even mean?
What does that mean? What does that mean? It's
Yeah.
almost like a non-state. It's so
Right.
not
Stormtrooper 6625 says that's called the Amish, I believe.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast
Jonestown
Jonestown
arc, right? The cult part of it.
Read the book
Gingerbread.
Walden too. See, this is the see,
Stephen Curry McFlurry.
it's annoying because I read a lot of books and I
Well,
would
the
never read
CIA.
a book
This
that
is one
somebody
of
just
the
told me
most
to.
irritating ones. The CIA would not let that last very long. Can I just say this? Get off the CIA's dick, please. You give them
Right.
way too much. Like,
They're dumb.
Right.
They're dumb.
seriously, please trust me. No, that's not to say they don't have resources, they don't have capacity to do things, that federal agencies don't have the capacity to do things. Of course they do. But they do not. It's not like one fucking federal agency controls the entire world. That is not how
Right.
shit works.
Right.
Let go of that.
Right.
Let go of that.
Yes.
There are billions of us. There are billions of us. I just have to get that.
They're
And I could
also
keep-
batting like 10% in terms of successful missions in their entire history. Most of their shit has failed.
I'm just waiting on the comments. Like, it sounds like something the CIA would say.
What's funny is I at least took that as like he's saying at least it'd be like a threat to the status quo. So I appreciate that, but yeah, I agree. Like it's like
Well, yeah, of
don't
course.
not do things.
Yes,
'cause the
okay,
CIA
yes, that's what I'm
exists.
saying. That's
Right.
what I'm saying. Assume that you're gonna get bad actors that are gonna try and weasel their way into whatever you are trying to do. Assume that all of that shit is gonna be happening. There's a through line here in what I'm saying too. Like transparency, and then even democracy, and then intentionality. Those three fucking things alone, you wouldn't believe how powerful those things are when it comes to actually trying to build with people. The thing is, it's similar to what I said about where people's minds go when you talk about community building, and then it's like they go super macro, like, oh, just throwing this whole municipality corralling us into whatever. It's like also a scale and scope thing. It's like if you think in this mass organization, centralized body like way about transformation of the world, yeah, of course, if you just open up the door and fucking let everybody in, yeah, duh, of course. It's like all about how you go about it. It's all about the scale. It's all about how you build relationships with people, how you build trust with people.
Right.
You know, it's also like, what are you actually focused on doing, like concretely? There's all these layers to it that none of these comments are ever going to get into.
I'm glad you said that also about the CIA. Just like
I'm just thinking on the level of I just want a neighbor to make breakfast so everybody can have breakfast and I don't have to make breakfast every day. It can be that small. Just have somebody that makes breakfast.
let me just drop this.
That's ill.
Let me just drop this. Like,
And
fuck,
cleaning
I feel like
apartments.
you're not considering
No,
the real
in my
gravity.
head is-
I feel like you're not thinking
No.
of how
In
how
my
real
head,
that is.
it's like, what if there was a guild of apartment cleaners who cleaned everyone's home, and I could
hold
work
on,
for that.
hold on. Before we move too far away, I gotta say
I could
this.
do that for a living. That'd be chill as fuck. Vacuuming
On
for
the
a
point
living.
about the CIA and the boogeyman and the all-seeing eye controlling everything that's going on in the world. Fuck my word on it. Take a note from Donald Cox, who's on the Central Committee of the Black Panther Party. And this is a spicy ass thing to a lot of people. But he said that he feels like people give the FBI too much credit for the collapse of the Black Panther Party. And this is someone who's on the Central Committee of the Black Panther Party. He was there till he had to, leave the country, essentially. And his whole point was the seed of the destruction of the Black Panther Party, the beginning of the end, lied in the social organization of that organization. He said the beginning of the end was that it was an authoritarian organization and a centralized organization, which made it vulnerable to the FBI and to a million other things.
It was also patriarchal in a lot of
Yeah.
ways too.
Right.
That was
Right.
a big issue with it.
But in
Right.
in terms of like the weakness of what was being attempted in the structural integrity, obviously not everybody agrees with that take or that view. But like I said, he was in the, as Kanye would call it, top power position. Top power position within the Black Panther Party. He was right next to Huey P. Newton. He was, so he saw
gold.
firsthand
Brother
from
Donald.
the top down, what was going on. So he had he had insight that a lot of Black Panther Party elders and revolutionaries didn't have. And it's just to the point of like, if we take democracy seriously and we take these other things that I said about transparency, and the transparency piece isn't even just like, oh, do everything in the open. It's also like letting go of the, like, trying to keep up a facade that whatever you're doing is going to be perfect.
Right.
That's what the cults do. The cults, the whole thing presumed is, this is the best. This is the answer. This is the solution.
Yeah, it's that
Well,
certainty.
what happens when a lot of people get together and they're like, look, we're going to try this thing. We don't have it all figured out. We do have some really key, crucial things figured out, but we don't have it all figured out. Everything is open to criticism. Anyone who's in a position of authority or power in here is open to criticism and is actually accountable, is recallable to everyone else who's moving with them. Like, all these other pieces have to be a part of it. Right now, that shit does not exist. Like, that shit does not exist like in a way that can inspire people or excite people. Right. That's fun or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, we really got to stop. A lot of these comments on that TikTok is from thinking so, like, in a funny way, abstractly about what it is that we're talking about.
It's funny because whether it was because it was like a joke or people took it as a joke or I don't know why, but that has 60,000 likes, which is a lot. Usually something like that would get like 7K likes and it'd be a piss that I piss in the wind and I would
But you
forget
said
about
something
it.
so simple and clear.
Right.
But for some reason it resonated. And I think the comments, I think more people engaged with that and thought, oh, this is interesting than just like all the comments being like, oh, so you're going to make The Giver?
Right.
And you know what bothers me about it, even beyond the like, whatever, even if the CIA does have the capacity to shut this shit down before it even jumps off, it's like, what kind of life are you living where you just let that stop you from even
doing
trying
anything?
It's like this self-policing shit is it's self-defeating, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy at a certain point.
You're basically
it's like,
being an agent to
you're
yourself.
being an agent. You're
The
fucking,
CIA agent would put his hand on your shoulder and say, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You literally just said that.
Right. And
You said that to yourself. We
And-
don't want to do that.
yeah, and look, I'm gonna
I'm just thinking of like movies like Star Wars where it's like, that's suicide. The Empire will destroy you.
right.
Or the queen ant from Bug's Life.
Right. But I feel like I want
to
hardly there.
But I
And
feel
then
like
Kevin Spacey being the king of the crickets or whatever, the grasshoppers.
Thumper.
Yeah.
But I feel like I want to broaden that out a little bit because I feel like people apply that logic to so much other shit. Like whether it's creativity, that's the first thing that comes to mind because we're in a place where everybody's trying to sell whatever the fuck they're doing. Everybody, whether it's even projects like this, people are trying to sell it to people for whether it's a real estate thing or some other type of bullshit scam. It's all a product. And it's like, we're doing that with our creativity to a point where we're filtering all of our creative decisions through this lens of, and I say this because things like this are creative things. Things like building an eco community and working through that process are creative processes.
Right.
And it's like we're all filtering our creativity through this lens of, well, I don't know if X gigantic corporation will buy it or if they'll allow that to happen. I don't know if we can really do that. I guess we just won't do it. It's like, bro, let them tell you that.
Right.
That's my biggest fucking pet peeve is like, because I've been in writers and I don't want to fucking like name people's names. If they hear this shit, they'll know who they are and sure, DM me. I don't care. I'll address. But like, just let your creativity speak for itself. Let your like human drive for freedom speak for itself.
Right.
And if people want to shut you down, they'll fucking do it.
Right.
But like, do you want to live your whole fucking life under the thumb of somebody that's watching your every fucking move and gonna shut down every attempt at freedom, whether it's as corny as that sounds, or just like any type of liberation in your life, any type of just enjoyment in your life? Or do you want to just actually give something a fucking try?
And also, you're quitting at the talking stage. Like, we're just talking about it. We can't talk about it.
Can't even think about it.
Don't even think about that.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
just let's talk about it. Like, is there some shit we could do? Like, okay, if you start actually doing it, it's like, man, this is hard. Okay, then talk about that. But
Imagine being in the NBA, being Allen Iverson, and just like, well, they're not gonna let me dunk on them. They're not gonna let me do that. Shaq's gonna stop me.
I don't think I've talked about it on here, but this is directly related to the distinction between hope and optimism. This is also related to just jaded as a concept too.
Yeah.
This is like the core of what I feel like is the ethos of this entire thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you zoom out and you think about it at the broadest level, it's like, if everything is fucked in your mind, if the odds are fucked, then who gives a fuck?
right.
Why wouldn't you just try and do something crazy and wild?
Yeah.
Right.
Why wouldn't you just try it if it's really all
Do a
fucked?
backflip.
Right. But
Right.
to the distinction between hope and optimism, you know, it's like optimism is, we can all look at the odds of the situation and go, the odds are horrible. No one sitting in here is delusional about that.
Right.
Like, seriously, like let's be real.
Right.
It's like, you know, because people say, oh, you're more of an idealist. I'm a realist about
Subway
things. It's
dig.
like, no, we
man.
are the realists in here. We know, we talk all day long about how dystopian and fucked shit is.
Right.
The difference between optimism and hope is, with optimism, you're looking at the odds. You're looking at the odds, and then you're letting that determine what you do.
Right.
Hope is when you look at the situation and say, I got two choices no matter what the probability is. I either do something to change it or I don't.
Right.
Everybody has those same two options.
Yeah.
Right.
The odds are irrelevant at that level. I look at what's possible, like not probable, what is possible.
Yeah.
And if there was a critical mass of people that could just accept that, especially given how desperate we are, especially given how fucked shit is, are you kidding me?
Right.
We could have the next system fucking tomorrow.
Right.
I think that's why it's no accident that, you know, not just the three of us, but I think people who are creative in general, they have that baked into their lives where it's like, I know it's probably a long shot I'd be able to like live off of my creativity, but like, I'm going to blow my fucking brains out.
Right.
Otherwise,
So I might as well just do this.
Right.
I mean, it's like, it's the same thing of like, am I really going to, like, yes, I am going to worry about money, but under capitalism, it's like, Am I really going to worry about money at the end of the day? You can't take it with you, and I could get fucked at any moment.
Right.
So.
I'm scraping the fucking bottom regardless. So
Right.
like, what am I doing?
And granted, yeah, it's easier if you do have family, you have friends, you know you have this social safety net of people around you that will look out for you. They're not going to let you fucking starve. They're not going to let you end up out on the street. And that's not everybody. Not everybody has that. But there's definitely enough of us that do to where we could fucking put our brains together out of this desperation and build trust with each other and try and open up the space for whatever the other thing could be. Right. And if you could communicate that at a global level and scale and network, and now it's like a transnational thing going on. Right. Come on. It's like, it's not, people make it way more complicated than it needs to be.
Right. And you know what? It's like, consider, let's say it doesn't work out. All this shit is for nothing and there's nothing we can do. Just making this attempt with y'all has been one of the most liberating things in my life.
We're fucking here, tired but here. That's the point.
Yeah.
It's literally like, just like the social headways we've made, the whatever small audience that we've built, I mean, there's fucking 15 of us working behind the scenes on this shit, and we all fucking love each other. We work with each other, and we've
created a world already.
We've created a world and an infrastructure and a social net, and it's like, even if all of these little pockets of people trying this shit never come together, it's like in their own little world, you can feel the way that we feel with each other, which is fucking just a little bit freer than we were in the spaces that we were in. And if everybody can feel that way, then who gives a fuck if it reaches a global scale? Like, the people that are committed to this shit can fuck themselves. You know?
Can I, on that point, you said that it literally, it doesn't have to be the smallest amount of people. The smallest amount of people could come together and start doing what the fuck we're talking about right now.
What the fucking affinity group is, you know?
I'm saying even to the level of land, labor, all this shit we're talking about, could figure it out. And then maybe it's a tiny pocket, but it's a pocket that other people can come into and explore and keep building on.
I mean, there's towns in America that are like 50 people.
Of course.
It's like, what are they fucking...
Of course.
Right. It's like, and it's
one of them runs out of food and it's like, well, Larry died down the street. You know, it's like no, that's your neighbor.
Right.
He fucking his crypto turned to zero and he just died.
Yeah.
The other thing I was just gonna say is like, that's why I'm kind of like morbidly glad that shit is so not bad, but like the distractions are getting worse. Not as in they're more distracting, as in they're less fulfilling.
Yes.
They're
shittier.
They are
the more dystopian.
Whatever Soma, whatever the fuck that shit's called from Brave New World. It's like
Soma,
yeah, like that's getting less potent. People are like, this shit's not
it's not doing
I'm
it.
too alive.
It is affirming. It is affirming that shit is it's a path that leads to nowhere.
Right.
Which gives us all the opportunity in the world to come up and present an alternative way of being and living and doing.
Right.
You know?
That too, I feel like that, I mean, leading into what we were planning on talking about, that reminds me of your point about fucking
video games.
Now it sounds so planned, but like
the GameCube.
But that shit but that shit is real, dog. It's like just like playing video games online, which now they're all just like funneled into this online space. There's no couch multiplayer. There's no just like being at home with your friends and actually being in each other's faces and shit. It all feels like this shit is made to make me want to fight more. It makes me it just makes me angrier. It makes me like more pissed off. It makes me like every time we have this conversation I bring up FIFA, but it's like I've never played a game that makes you feel more helpless, if that makes sense.
I take you so seriously when you talk about this because I know what you mean.
It's like, and EA has been called out for this in the past, but like they literally like throttle your gameplay and your performance when you play online to make you want to buy like cards and player packs and all this shit so that your team is better and all this shit. And it's just driving more fucking consumerism. And when I just want to be at my fucking house and just chill the fuck out for a little bit.
And FIFA's fun as hell when it's fun.
It's so fun. And I've been playing the game for fucking 10 years. And I remember FIFA 10 was I remember thinking at the time, it was like, this is the best it could be. It's like the game is just broken enough that it's like, it feels like we can like fuck with each other. It's
That's
fun.
how I felt
it's
about
silly.
Battlefront. That's how I felt about Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Right.
What's that? Like, it's like a Buck's going fucking crazy.
Creaming in his pants.
Hannibal Lecter, fucking straight
right.
Well,
Yeah.
Buck is a huge
Yeah.
gamer, so
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
behind the scenes right now. But so he's helpless.
Yeah.
But
he's running sound, but he can't speak.
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
What a-
It's like a fucking
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say something like that?
Sisyphean
What is it?
curse.
Assault on Mos Eisley or whatever it's called, where it's like you
Yeah.
play only as hero characters.
Yeah.
And you can like jump as Yoda like 8 times in the
Right.
air.
Right.
Yeah, this shit's
Yeah, bro.
yeah.
You know what I think is
Goated.
What I think is fucking it up is and it's part of what they used to fuck up the real world in a way. It's like they're using the excuse of realism to endlessly tweak all these games and just make them a little bit different every time and just be like, we're making it more realistic. We're making the graphics better. We're doing all these things to justify making the same game year by year by year by year, so you keep having to buy it because the graphics are a little bit better.
It's the exponential
exponential growth
facade of capitalism.
Streaming,
Yeah,
streaming
it's-
is having a huge effect on this also.
Yes,
Like the whole streamer wave that we're living through, it's like everyone's just a fucking professional gamer streamer now.
yeah, and then you're
Everyone.
literally just making a
And it's
commercial.
ass.
You're right. You're
Sucks.
right, and it brings me back to this conversation about like what YouTube could have been, which is like a platform for everybody to express their creativity freely and all this shit. But Twitch especially, YouTube to a degree, but Twitch more than any other application I've seen is just like bringing users on to advertise the fucking platform.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah.
You're paying to make commercials for this fucking app, and they're over here tweeting shit like we'll pay our streamers more now, and nobody's
All these
nobody's
arbitrage businesses. It's
Right.
just like, we take the streamer and give you the audience. It's like, no,
Right.
I do that.
Yeah.
I just do it on your code.
right. Exactly.
Twitch also a couple months ago was like, so, and they're owned by Amazon.
Yeah.
And they were like, because of the cost of Amazon Web Services, we're raising
Oh,
the fucking,
my.
and we're
Bro,
going to
are
start
you
throwing
Doing their
ads.
own
serious?
artificial scarcity
Right.
schemes.
Literally,
Right.
and it's like, we're going to start putting ads in front of your paid subs.
It's like
Like people who pay to not have ads are now
Right.
going to get ads.
right.
They
And
do
it's
not
like,
give a fuck. They do
Right.
not give a fuck. They will go even further. They
Right.
will do things we cannot even conceive
Right.
of right now.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, Dad said I can't have friends over anymore, but if you pay my dad, you know,
Yeah.
you can have friends over.
yeah, it's literally, and like people are outraged. A lot of people are. And I was watching one of my, favorite shows that they do their podcast live on Twitch, and one of the hosts was like, and you know what, guys, there's nothing we can do. And I didn't get angry because I was like, yeah, you probably do feel that way. It's true.
Yeah.
But it is just like an insight into, you really think there's nothing you can do? It's like, fuck. It's like,
Yeah.
where are you gonna go? Mixer? It's like people just don't think
Right.
that there is anything you
Can I
do.
can I
Right.
vocalize another wild? It's related to what you were saying before, but like I've recently been reflecting on, how we talked. Maybe it was when Nick Coletti was on,
Yeah.
and I brought up that thing about how there's no split screen anymore because it's like they need everybody separated
Yeah.
with their own consoles and
Yeah,
then subscribe, have their own
Yeah.
online subscription. So it's like they make more money by having us separated and not in the same
Hugely
room.
so. Yeah.
And it's literally the first version of that, V1 of that, was the nuclear family. When the nuclear family came out, it's the same shit. We need everybody in a
that's true.
separate house.
That's true.
Yeah.
We need a separate set of parents for every child. Can't get communal with raising that child because we're not going to sell as many diapers and whatever the fuck, whatever the.
Yeah.
You probably need diapers for every.
Yeah.
No sharing diapers, but you get my point.
We can rinse that shit out.
Yeah.
Reusable diapers. They're gonna start reusing the diapers for the babies. Communal diapers.
Somebody the other day was just like, why has nobody ever invented reusable diapers? I was like, dog, that's just that's underwear.
It is. Reusable diapers are a
That's
thing.
underwear, bro.
Just shake yourself.
I'm pretty sure reusable diapers are a thing.
So I'll show you how a diaper's reusable.
It'll be a little
And then
stinky,
it's
but
also
that,
it's like I
right?
put the poop into a compost and I grow.
You get
I
that,
put
right?
the poop into a cup and then I put the shit back
Before
on.
they got rid of split screen, they got rid of communal,
Bro,
just
when the
life
nuclear
in general.
family
raising of children. And
when they made those goddamn cities that look like solar panels, like the suburbs that are like,
right.
Oh
Right.
yeah, right.
yeah, it's true.
I'm just picturing like a ancient village just with one Xbox, one communal Xbox.
There's a blind seer who plays grabbed by the ghoulies.
I got
Right.
next. I got next, motherfucker.
You use the Mad Cat's controller. What's it called? Usufruct? It's Usufruct. I'm using this one. So it's not yours
It's
anymore.
not yours.
Use the see-through Mad Cat's controller.
The chief sleeps with the fucking one working GameCube controller.
Yeah, the Chiefs had the wave bird under his ass.
I use it to sleep.
The wave bird talks to me at night. Gives me messages. That's why I need to play on it. The Mad Cat's actually a great controller. What do you mean the analog stick's broken? It's fine.
He's a shaman. He's lying to us about the controllers. I used the Mad Cats last week.
The Mad Cat sees all.
The left bumper is sticky. It gets stuck from time to time.
These are the accents, right?
An ancient civilization.
Bring in the
Year
ceremonial
One.
peroxide.
Have you ever seen Year One with
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Jack
Oh,
Black?
yeah,
we
you
talked
pulled
about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
The Golden Boy.
Golden Boy, come here.
Yeah.
Grab me the foil.
I just remember that movie.
I thought I told you to fetch some more wine.
I just remember them being in like a cart going slowly down a road, and they're like, "Whoa!" Like the
Jack
wheel.
Black style. Typical Jack
Who's
Black.
gonna be Bowser? Speaking of video games.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Side note:
That's gonna be silly.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt just is a
fucking
regular
Mad
guy.
Cats or some shit?
Well, I was talking about split screen multiplayer and how they get us isolated and separated so they can make more money. And I was saying how the nuclear family is like
Couch multiplayer
a
taken away
broader
from
social version of that.
wait,
It's like
Hold this thought before we move on from the Mario thing. Didn't Chris? Who was it that was saying Chris Pratt was like, yeah, Mario is not going to be Italian now. He's going to be normal.
Yeah, I don't know who said that, but I think he did say that. And then in the trailer, it's like, "Let's go to Mario." It's just him doing the
Right.
goddamn thing.
Right.
Well, one of the executives was like,
he
"This
kind
is
of
a new
exposed
thing."
himself there.
Yeah.
White supremacy. He doesn't think Italians are white.
Yeah.
They're not Aryan.
Yeah,
enough,
he's
bro.
gonna.
he's like,
He's gonna
those
be
fucking
normal.
ethnic accents that
Yeah.
they got.
Yeah, he's got like 1912 like racial politics.
Right. Phrenology,
Yeah, he's-
eugenics,
He's
politics.
stuck
yeah.
in 1905.
He's like, Italian, debatable.
yeah,
Right.
He's like,
Debatable for human.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, and Bowser.
What genus is the Italian fall under?
And of course, Bowser builds the railroad.
Oh God,
Bowser's
that
Irish.
would be those penguins.
Bowser's Irish. Wait, what?
Be those penguins.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm
God.
We
sorry.
never talk
What
about
were
the
you
rights
saying?
of the Goombas.
Hey, those are the real Goombas. How you doing?
How you doing? Yeah.
Been stepping
Okay,
on
so
my head
back
for
to your
years.
point. You were saying.
I don't know. I didn't have anything beyond just
No,
that
but that's-
connection of nuclear
That's true
family.
because I'm
Oh, yeah.
imagining
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it's kind of how I grew up a little bit. It's just
Same
like,
with the
like,
church,
on
right.
on the block at least. Like kids would be running around in each other's yards and in and out of each other's houses.
Yeah.
I think about church though, being fed communally, being taken care of.
Yeah,
literally having my ass wiped and diapers changed by people that weren't my parents.
Right. And that was just a couple years ago.
Right.
Reusable diapers.
I mean, in the span of
still using
human
them.
history, yes.
Yeah. In the span of Z's history specifically, yes.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's like so much of society is just designed to like cordon you off from any type of influence outside of the person directly above you. You know what I'm saying?
There's a reason why you feel anxious. There's a reason why you feel depressed. That's 100% a part of it.
Right.
I think we talked about it before. It's like, sorry, we're social beings.
Right.
We're social creatures.
Yeah, this isn't supposed to be like this.
It's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
No. You're not allowed to have any type of horizontal influence of any kind. Just all vertical.
It's
all
like,
top
some
down.
people might think they're too cool to be human and too cool to be whatever.
Social.
It's no, I'm sorry. You will literally
be happier.
Yeah.
Even if
You
you're
will also be
antisocial,
happy.
you will literally be happier
Right.
around more people.
Right.
I had this thought the other day, and it's the most like dumb, obvious fucking point that I'm about to make. But
Sometimes those are the best points, man.
you know what I'm saying? And it's basically the fact that like I honestly think ADD is there's probably some of it that's just like, all right, that's like a genetic thing or whatever.
Or environmental, being around smokers.
But I really do think like it is societal. Like a lot of it. Because I think someone back in the day, the amount of shit that my brain has just on the table that it could decide to think about at any given time, all of it, history, art, all this shit, the internet, all this information, it's like, it's not even stimulation. It's just you never run out of things to think about.
Yeah.
You don't run out of data.
Right.
You don't. Like
Back
in the day, you'd know so much, and then the rest would just be like,
I mean,
okay, imagination, I guess.
There was a sense of discovery,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now where it's like it is
There's
information
nothing. Right.
overload in the sense of like, there's so much. What the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Almost.
Well,
where am I supposed to start?
Platforms like YouTube, Patreon, Spotify, they're all ass. They don't respect your privacy, they're riddled with ads, and they're completely silent and unreachable when you need help. Have you ever talked to somebody at YouTube? Think about that. I sure haven't. To top it all off, we don't control them at all, despite being the reason they exist.
So that's why we're partnering with a design and development agency called Sanctuary Computer to build our own cooperative alternatives that bring the best features of all those platforms together and that we can control together too.
We seriously got to have an exodus to some sort of digital Zion that we built ourselves. Somewhere where all of us can actually have a say over the technology that we're using to communicate with each other. For more on how you can support us all in getting off these shitty platforms, visit opencollective.com/digital Zion and tap in.
Just because these dystopian systems are eating themselves alive
Doesn't mean they gotta take us with them. There's also the degree of like everything we learn growing up is shit that we don't want to know. We grew it's that simple. It's
we didn't ask to know.
Like my brother got diagnosed with ADD when he was a kid, before ADHD came out. My dad,
it was 480p AD.
It was 480p AD. Yeah. And my because he used to draw in class all the time, and
I did also.
Yeah, and he would get bad grades.
I used to draw war scenes in class. Stick figures having huge battles.
Right.
That was the other thing I thought about the other day. Huge Nazi symbols, like the Nazis fighting the Americans in class, like D-Day. And I would have like big ships with swastikas on them, fighting big ships with American flags on them. And the teacher would be like, it's nice, you know.
It's historical.
No, hold up.
Hell yeah, dude.
It was historic. It was historical.
Wait.
You were just talking about how jarring it must have been to look at a kid.
In every picture? I'm just Did I display the might of the?
Don't give Kanye a hard on here.
Yeah.
Top power position.
Yeah, top power position. And he's like,
yeah.
It was a Jewish doctor.
right. Right.
Where he's
Yes.
Hey,
it was a Jewish doctor.
Yeah.
Brother Connor, I know him.
Yeah.
I know him in a lot of capacities.
Yeah.
The people canceling him.
Watch.
I know
Gotta
them.
watch what you say.
Gotta watch what you say.
You were making a point though, brother.
I was making a point. My
ADHD.
brother used to draw in class all the time. He would get bad grades, and he would use it as he would like tell my parents like, I have ADD. I don't know what you're talking about. And my dad would say ADD, my ASS, and then, like he thought he was so fucking funny. He thought he was so fucking
God.
funny.
That's hard.
He would say it every time, and he would probably still say it today. But the reality is my brother just wanted to fucking draw. That's what he likes. That's what he likes to do. He didn't give a shit about school because most people don't give a shit about school. The fact, the thought that everybody in the world is gonna need to know all the same things throughout their life is such a fucking stupid notion.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that earlier today. I was reading an article that was about like, because I've been playing music recently. It was an article about like how to learn songs really fast or some shit like that. And the way it was written was so like middle school book report, like, okay, so here's how you learn songs fast. And the importance of learning songs really fast is that you will know songs. You'll get to know songs. And like the importance of knowing songs is that you get to play the songs. And I'm just like,
It sounds like a
some
recipe.
people, and it was like,
Someone wrote a recipe.
I was reading it and I was just realizing like, everybody should know how to read. Some people just don't bother learning to write.
Right.
Don't worry
We
about
can just
it.
be verbal.
Yeah, you could just talk. You're good. Like, don't worry about it, man. Like, not everybody needs to know this. Not everybody needs to know math. Just
Right.
fucking know
No,
the shit
that's a
that
fact.
applies to your life directly.
Democratic
And just-
schools.
Yes.
Imagine if your brother had grew up in a democratic school
Where he could just tell
Now he
somebody
would have
this
a
is what I want to
whole-
know.
Yes, and he would have a whole skill set, a whole trade, master
Right.
illustrator. I'm sure he's great now, but it's like, imagine
Yeah.
if he had all of those hours in his developmental years.
Right. And
And-
support is the big
Right.
thing. It's like, because you can practice a skill all you want, but if you don't have the emotional support around it, you're always going to doubt yourself. And that's a big problem with him that I keep telling him is he's like constantly in his head about like, yeah, I don't know this. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. And like, it's great that he has that curiosity, but it's also a barrier in the sense that like he, and I have this to a degree too, is like you let that, the fact that you don't know something stop you from like just doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
you're always in this process of explicit like learning and like trying to do it right as opposed to trying to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
I always think like if they would have just like been like, this guy should just only focus on writing and level design, then
Yeah.
he would be
Right. This is also the
I would
brightest.
probably have been a game developer.
Yeah.
I'm saying
Right.
I wanted to pull this up so people are aware. When I say democratic schools, I'm talking about an actual educational institution that exists in the world.
This is also the
a wiki-
brightest this podcast has ever been. Somebody in the
primer.
comments is going to be like, it should always be like this.
Yeah, democratic education. Democratic
Some
education is a type of formal education that is organized democratically so that students can manage their own learning and participate in the governance of their school. Democratic education is often specifically emancipatory, with the students' voices being equal to the teachers.
That was not what I went through. I was
Wow.
told I literally one time I went a teacher quick story. A teacher I was sitting next to a friend of mine. It was like 9th grade history class. My teacher, a friend of mine farted, and my teacher literally just goes, "Connor, get out." Because he thought it was me. And I was like furious because it wasn't me. I
Over
just
a fart,
laughed
too.
at it. Yeah, well, of course, because teachers are also, that's a whole nother conversation.
Natural body thing, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Right.
they're like on the verge of insanity at all times, teachers,
Right.
because their lives are insane anyway. So I sympathize with them. But he was like, go to the office. I went to the office. I went to the school principal or whatever, disciplinarian's office. And I sat down, I talked with him, explained I did nothing wrong, blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, all right, I'm gonna go up and get the first name of that teacher. Like, he called him by his first name. Went, grabbed him. He's like, all right, come to my office. And I was like, dude, this is fire. Like, the teacher's in trouble because he fucked up. Goes in the office. 2.5 minutes go by. Teacher walks out, walks by me. He goes, come in here. Gives me a Saturday, which is a detention where you come in on Saturday and do manual labor. And he's like, yeah, you're just being disruptive. He's like, how am I going to take your word over his? It's like I'm talking to a third grader. He literally said that. I was 15. He was like, it's like talking to a child, like a third grader. How is your word any, I'm not taking what you say seriously, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, He's like, are you cool? Are we cool? And I'm like, no, that's stupid.
Right.
I'm the boss. I'm the boss. Real quick. These are all the Democratic schools in the U.S. and notice how small this list is.
Yeah.
It's not even one in every state.
And this is a quote unquote democratic country. This is people are talking about protecting our democracy.
God damn
But you
it.
see in New York State, we got 3.
what?
Brooklyn Free School, Brooklyn.
Ithaca and Albany.
Albany Free School, and then Lehman Alternative
Arthur
Community
Morgan School. They got a school for Red Dead Redemption 2? Isn't that his name?
I don't know. I don't like the Red Dead Redemption games.
L. ZL. Spam the comments.
Yeah,
ZL.
I know.
With the timestamp. ZL.
Yeah. Shouts out to Video Game Donkey, though, because he's one of the notable folks I've seen raise the same critiques.
Nakey Jakey as well.
Yeah.
He had that review of Red Dead
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
rare
that it's-
ZL.
Yeah. And the critique for those who aren't aware is like it's 90% riding a horse.
Right.
I like the I like the aesthetics. I do. I like the but it's like I just couldn't get immersed into that settler colonial for some reason had a
some
hard
of us just it wasn't my taste. Okay, if it was maybe a social ecology game where there's no conflict, I might have been more
I mean
interested.
there'll be conflict in a social ecology game, I'm sure.
Breath of the Wild exists, man.
That Nakey Jakey video though, he like breaks down how the Rockstar model has not been updated basically since GTA 3. Like it's the same shit. You drive to the mission, you do the mission, and then they've like cushioned it with like more forgiving checkpoints and stuff, but it's mostly that.
So in a Red Dead context, it just was extra draining because
Right.
you're riding a horse
In real time.
You
in
got
real time
the-
over vast
Yeah.
It's two
landscape.
sides. It's like you either love the fuck out of that.
Oh yeah,
You gotta love riding on the horse for that game to work.
Right.
yeah, and I don't
If you
hate
don't-
It can just be meditative,
it
but
feels like Cowboy Simulator.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it feels.
like.
That's what I call it with Trish. I'm
So
like,
it's
I'm
like,
playing
yeah.
Cowboy Simulator.
Yeah, yeah.
Watch me blow this guy's leg off.
I like. I don't have problems with people who like simulator games. Like,
Yeah.
I respect that. Am I
Yeah,
gonna
trucking
sit?
simulator.
Yeah, am I
Yeah.
gonna sit and play trucking simulator? No, I'm not.
The
Right.
human mind is
But
fascinating.
I'll play the fuck
That's
out.
a
I'll
game.
play the fuck out of some Burnout.
oh
The
yeah,
old school
I
Burnout.
fuck with Burnout.
I don't know. If,
Where
I
you
don't
drive
remember.
them off the side.
It was a whole game. You had to make the biggest crash possible.
That was
like,
the sickish. Burnout 3.
Yeah.
Burnout 3.
Yeah,
I remember
that.
that.
That was like on my little rotation of games between. It was Burnout 3. Fucking. Not the. What was the not GTA game I talked about that one? Damn, I don't remember shit right
Mario.
now.
I don't know.
Mario. It was
There's a lot of
Mario.
games that aren't GTA, so I don't know.
It was a specific one. I don't know.
True crime.
True Crime Streets of
Yeah.
LA, where you could unlock Snoop Dogg. Clink. Yeah. And then Smash Bros. Yeah.
I played Burnout and Burnout 2. I'm looking at the covers now.
I think Burnout 3 was the one I rented from Blockbuster back in the day.
Yeah.
I used to just be so infatuated with just like the physics of these games as a kid. I
Yeah.
remember that. Just
Whoa, I've never seen the first two.
I used to just let the
That's
fucking
funny.
menu
That's
just.
a wild cover. Holy shit, that's a cover.
I used to just sit on the menu for like a half an hour, just like Riders on the Storm on repeat. Just like the fucking.
Remember the Max Payne games? Max Payne
Yeah.
3?
Yeah.
I want to replay Max Payne 3.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when I got it, I was like, this is hard. But now I'd be like, this is like the Dark
Yeah.
Souls of
Right.
third-person shooters. Let's do it.
They had the like bullet time shit too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They invented that shit, basically.
Did they? Right?
Not bullet
Okay.
time, the concept, but like in video
like in the
games.
way Michael
Yeah.
Jordan invented basketball.
Right. Right.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, dude.
I'm pulling up the 2 just because.
Hell yeah. For some reason, I said back in the day, and then I remember the Dan Cook joke, which was a Wednesday, and then
We
I
got to stop talking about
Yeah.
Dan
I-
Cook.
we
I
talk
can't
about him
do-
a lot.
I think we talked about him the last 3 episodes.
No
straight.
way.
Yeah.
No way.
Referenced him at least once.
I mean,
Damn, okay.
I mean,
Well,
here we are.
I was going to mention the fact that he's like, the internet doesn't like that I'm 49 and my girlfriend's 23. So I was talking to her the other day, and I'm like, take a break from your homework real quick. And like people are like, ha 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 ha.
He did this recently?
Yeah, he's
Did he
doing
really?
stand-up
Did he
again.
really say that?
Anyway, sorry. I didn't mean to
He
mention
just took the
Dane Cook
he took
or
the
Voldemort.
dude Seinfeld
Yeah,
thing
right.
and
It was just
made
like,
it.
what if
like,
I did this in earnest?
Right, right.
What if I leaned into that?
Lean into it.
That's a pretty
yeah.
good. That's a pretty good bit. What's the deal with girlfriends? They're always talking about homework. Shout out, Jeremy Kaplowitz is the guy's name.
Yeah,
he's
I saw him
he's
in
a
the
comic.
TikTok.
I know that I didn't realize it was him.
It's, and I guess this might be telling a joke you do, but you are a loser. You're just a loser at the end of the day more than
Oh
anything.
yeah.
Sorry. I don't know. We can cut that
You're like,
out.
I had to get that out of my
I don't.
system.
It's in a special. I don't care.
Okay.
You had to just get that out of your system.
No, but I'm giving him props. That's really a true point. It's like, aside from the age gap, you're just a loser for doing that.
Yeah.
You're just a loser.
For anyone who doesn't know the context of that.
Oh yeah,
joke.
you're referencing your
Yeah.
bit. Okay,
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah, that
I
was,
wasn't like, I'm gonna call Dane Cook a loser. I'm really sorry. I wasn't like that.
Thought it was just a
Embrace it.
cathartic release.
right. Right.
I just
can
gotta
finally say it.
loser.
right.
Loser.
Yeah. The context of that.
loser.
The context of that joke is I knew a guy who was like proud that he fucked a 35-year-old woman when he was 16, and I was like, okay, I'll accept you didn't get molested, but you got to at least admit you fucked a loser.
Right.
Right.
And that's true. And also, you're 49?
That's almost 50.
You made me gag so hard it hurt my neck. You fucking sicko.
Sicko.
That's because of you and not my weird musculature in my neck.
And
Super Smash Brothers Melee, you know? Oh, sorry.
Well, I kind of, my brain went to the lesser talked. I was thinking of ATV Off-Road Fury.
Fuck that shit.
We were listening to Alice in Chains, Them Bones earlier, and it's one of those songs.
Guitar Hero.
And it was on in ATV Off-Road Fury. Maybe it was 4. I already gave the whole thing about like playing Road Rash and like Soundgarden and all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had another. I remembered like, oh yeah,
Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the pain? That was a rock band song, and I'd just be like, I thought I was a real drummer.
oh yeah, that shit could have been a better like pathway than it was.
Well, Max like is a amazing drummer, and he started playing rock band.
Really?
Yeah.
That's always
It's a true.
yeah. I've
Yeah.
seen people. I've known
Rhythm.
people that like got great.
I
at
played this in
Guitar
my
Hero.
dentist's office.
it was in my dentist's office too.
What
The fuck?
What the
Yeah.
fuck? No,
Yeah.
I can't. No,
I'm sorry.
I can't accept that one.
Do you know
No,
why?
I
No. You know why? Because it came. They put it in those packs. You could buy the fucking console, and they'd give you 2 free games. And I think it was in those packs. So they probably just got the console and then just were like, "Well, this is the game that came with it."
Orthodontist, actually. It wasn't a dentist. It was an orthodontist.
Okay, no,
Did you
it
ever have
doesn't-
braces?
Yeah,
Did you ever
yeah.
You both
Braces.
had
You
braces.
should have seen Z before braces.
I'm just distraught. You both have braces too.
Oh, I had the London look. If you catch my drift.
Oh yeah, I had to get a fucking row of my teeth taken out when I was like fucking 8. Like I had to go
wow.
under, and I had like dissolvable stitches in my gums at like age 9. And I was like, okay, and I'm like, what's this?
My dentist was also a comedian. So
Wow.
Oh
that.
God. His nickname was Mr. Funny Bones.
Mr. Funny Bones. Got those funny bones rattling in your mouth.
Yeah.
It's so funny how that character, Marty Wolf, is like more lascivious than like the most R-rated film has ever predicted, like ever depicted like a producer. Like he's
Right.
more violent seeming than
Right.
I was gonna pull up a picture, but I'm like, Ricky's just gonna pull up video of him
Right.
as soon as we start talking about him.
I'm cutting this one, so I don't know if it's gonna be.
Eudoye's like, I
pull
guess
up the
not.
picture.
Oh, yeah,
dog.
let me pull up the
picture.
Marty Wolf.
Maybe I'll decide after the fact if I want to up my editing game.
Sir, I think we just hit a kid.
I'm on the phone.
Sorry about that. Apparently.
He sources the fucking Blu-ray. Goddamn.
Yeah, I realized that halfway through watching. I'm like, oh, this dude downloaded
Tor
legally.
Yeah. He
Legally, strictly, The Thing. Johnny Carpenter's The Thing. Hope you guys enjoyed
Karen
that.
Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, you picked the best one.
Yo.
See, that's my style. That's
Same
my
glass-
swag.
Same glasses.
I wish my head was like shaped that way so a goatee like that could work for me. And I pray my hair recedes that way. I pray I get a hair like that because he did the sexiest thing you can do, which is grow the sideburns out when you have a receding hairline.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, get it.
Yeah.
I like this.
It's so funny how that movie just turns into like, blue boy over here. Like it's just
Yeah.
blue jokes for the rest of the movie.
I blew myself.
Yeah.
Did you see fucking Frankie Muniz is gonna be in the Surreal Life? They're rebooting the
bro.
Surreal Life.
Oh, they are.
and he's
yeah.
fucking in the goddamn commercial.
Talk
Like
about
half the original cast is
Talk
is in
about
that.
a surreal life.
Oh my Christ! I've not seen that photo.
He looks like a
Hold on.
football.
Oh, I need to.
No, man. He looks like a football coach.
Oh my God!
Oh, I haven't turned my
I
nose.
let myself
in
go.
10
man.
years. I
My
I'm-
nose hairs talk to my mouth hairs. Wow.
We talked about how
He's
Frankie,
in billions. Huh?
you know, Frankie Muniz does not remember shooting Malcolm in the Middle.
That's understandable.
Oh yeah, he got amnesia, didn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't remember any of it.
Oh.
Yeah. No, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm a millionaire though.
yeah.
Damn.
Well, I don't know. He's on Cameo in the Surreal Life. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I mean, you look up how much he's getting per video on Cameo. That'll tell you. That is like the biggest indicator of someone's financial situation.
Right.
If Frankie Muniz is doing two-figure Cameo prices, then I'm worried. If he's doing like 100, 200, it's like, all right, we're chilling. We're
Right.
chilling.
Do you remember Miracle in Lane?
Yes, I was gonna bring that up because he's like
Miracle.
driving race cars now, right? Or
He retired when he was like 22 and just
Yeah.
drove race cars.
Yeah.
I remember him tweeting that.
Right.
He's like, yeah, I'm not going to steal your movie idea, Shepard.
Like,
Oh, wow. God, he's frightening. And he's wearing that
So you-
sexy ass coat, jacket, swag.
it's like, so you invented the handbrake, huh?
Miracle in Lane 2. Don't remember this one.
This is about
Justin tried for a trophy. What he won was extraordinary.
Let's watch.
it is.
All right.
This
Let
was-
me pull
this-
up the joint
this movie
no
was like-
one ever sings or remembers.
If it's before that one I just sang, then I was too young to remember it.
But that,
Maybe
that
it
movie
might
was
be-
he was in a wheelchair and it was I guess a real story where they invented the handbrake to for a soapbox car.
It's been brought to our attention that your car is equipped with a handbrake.
That's right.
Well, rules specify that only foot brakes may be used.
But our son is paralyzed from the waist down. He has to use a handbrake.
Yes, I'm aware of that, but we have strict regulations on car design.
So what are you saying? That after all he's been through, he can't race?
Well, the Rules Committee is prepared to give the matter special consideration, but
I'm sorry, what? Wait, a guy who was in a wheelchair invented the handbrake?
That's the premise of the movie. I don't.
Oh, of that movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I
I
believe-
thought you were saying that as like a historical fact.
Well, I think it is based on a real story if I remember
Okay.
right, but like I can't verify. It's been a long time since I saw the movie. But I think it's like, and it might just be they put a handbrake in a soapbox car.
Mm-hmm.
But like I remember it being as a
I feel
kid.
like the brake had to have come out several decades after the wheel, right? Or no?
Well, brake. It was a foot brake though, and the kid
Oh,
was
okay. I'm
paralyzed.
seeing like an e-brake.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
you. He invented drifting.
Soapbox drifting.
He's so sick, dude. That kid invented drifting, man.
No one fucking remembers this one.
Oh, wait, this is like on ABC, or is this Disney Channel?
Fly away, fly away.
Oh, I do remember this one.
The real one that I don't get a lot of people remembering is, or did I already do this on the show? This was on ABC, wasn't it? Because that was ABC.
I don't fucking know.
I think. Oh no, we talked about this on it. Never mind.
Did you
one
hear the
Saturday morning?
Yes,
remember that shit?
Yes,
yeah. That's the
did
one.
Did you
that...
hear the gospel choir? Did you hear the gospel choir in that? Do I need to run it back?
Just run it back.
We were talking over it.
Run it back.
I already X'd out of the tab.
Magical world.
I'll cut it in again. Drop it.
No, I'm pulling it up. There was some real fucking musicality to these fucking little Disney promos, man.
And then it gets like.
Fly away, fly away.
There was Hocus Pocus.
You know what it is?
Wow.
They throw you off the scent. They throw you off the scent with the music beforehand. They make you think it's gonna be like a Paul Simon, like African boys choir shit, like, and then it's so. Like,
I feel like Les Claypool did that one Saturday morning.
That was ABC. Yeah. They probably played that on ABC or some shit too.
Well, that was an ABC thing. Was there would be like a movie every night. It was like the magical world of Disney or some shit like that, and that's been going on since the 50s, kids.
Back when Walt would come on screen, welcome you to a magical world, a magical monoracial world. And there'd be a mouse and a dog. The dog owns the dog. A minstrel mouse, mind you. A minstrel mouse driving a steamboat. Where? In the segregated South.
Fuck Disney, nigga.
Right.
Fuck Disney.
Just picturing of Les Claypool.
After you just did the Funk Flex rewind of the fucking
music is music. Fuck Disney, man. Real people made that music, and I appreciate that. But fuck Disney, man.
I'm just picturing if Les Claypool did do it. It's like, welcome to Disney. Les Claypool's One Saturday Morning with Disney Channel original movies.
I'm really now I'm curious.
It was like one Saturday morning. That was one of them.
One Saturday morning.
No, that was the.
Say, baby, do you want to lay down
It's
with
a
me?
really cool. I mean, if you talk about a lot of the shit we reference, that's like another. Like it's like a whole mechanical like. Oh, I'm working all week, and then it goes to like, but Saturday morning comes, and then it's a utopia.
Right.
Seriously, it's like some dystopian
You're
shit.
watching ABC.
Damn, the one.
We're
No,
watching ABC.
I don't think this is. It was earlier than this.
This is like a
this is
truncated
a compilation of bumpers.
They're truncated ones too. It's not even
It's
like
time for recess.
Yeah, no.
you're like, get this off the screen. It's mid.
This is 2000, bro. This is mid.
This?
Don't associate with me with mid, dude. Come on.
Right. Get the real one in.
Right.
Get the real bumper in.
That stuff, that was mid.
Yeah.
One Saturday morning.
It was a mid doctor.
I'm searching. I don't know what else there would be. This is.
And it's like one Saturday morning. Oh, this is it. Yep. Look at this. Really take in the.
It sounds like the nigga that did the Roly Poly Oly theme song.
Like Tuesday, miserable. Right. Monday, miserable.
One Saturday morning.
It's like brutalist.
Yeah, literally. That's what I'm saying, bro. Look, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
Look, yeah, it's constructivist. Look, the fucking proletariats are out there. Misery. Go back. It says misery on the box. I swear to God, it says misery. Oh my God. And then it's green.
This is kind of hard.
Yeah, this is crazy. And then that's a brilliant lyric.
Once a
5 hours of
week.
summer.
Once a week.
Oh my God.
This is like so sad, but fire.
That's. See,
5 hours of summer once a week.
You gotta get Wes to make us a...
Right.
Look at that. It's straight. And you see how they were into like retro futurism with this aesthetic, but then also like
they got some reboot vibes in there.
Inspector Gadget like shit.
Illuminating television.
Look at this. Like, who the fuck would waste this much money on this?
Bro,
for something like this now.
This shit is so bleak to me because it implies that they just like have the capacity to do this all the time.
Oh,
but they're like, let's just roll it out. Let's roll it out for a few hours on Saturday. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Keep them satiated.
It's Saturday.
Come on. We were talking like as a kid, it fucks you up growing up seeing shit that dope, and then just like it's all downhill.
Yeah, right.
It's all downhill from there. What is your fucking Twitch streamer doing that's introducing themselves like that, huh?
Nothing.
Well, Dr. Disrespect, his green screen garage he stands in with his okay.
I'm a doctor and I disrespect you.
It's a guy with I don't want to explain who Dr. Disrespect is. Do you know who that is? It's a streamer.
You've mentioned him before.
He wears like a black mullet and glasses and a big mustache, and he's got like a red bulletproof vest, and he's like this character that streams.
Okay, now what you're describing, it sounds painfully stupid. Am I correct?
He's huge. That's the other thing is these kids are gonna grow up and you're gonna have conversations with them. Be like, you don't know who Dr. Disrespect is?
Yeah.
Like he's fucking Elvis.
Yeah.
Like, that's how big he is.
I mean, look,
Tim the Tat Man? Nothing?
Look, man, I got into a fucking chat on like a voice chat on Twitter one time, and people roasted me for being 29. They knew nothing else about me. They just knew I was 29. So I'm like, you know what?
He's 29.
I'm like, you know what? Fuck these kids. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I long for the days that I'm just actually old.
That's why I always say I can't wait till I'm 30 because that's already how old I am.
Right. I'm just like I want to be 40, 50. I'm ready to be old.
40 sounds like a tight decade to be in. Honestly.
Yeah, right?
Like I'm sure physically it's not fun,
but also not giving a fuck, like as much of a fuck.
Yeah,
even
society
less
is less concerned with you in general.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so in the middle, you know? It's like you're supposed to be good and nobody cares.
So invisible.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's so like the way society is set up, it's like this is how I would have done my 20s. This is how I would have done my 30s.
Exactly.
You know, it's that type of shit.
I remember when I turned 25, I walked in the office and I told some guy, I was like, I can't believe I'm 25. Like, I'm so fucking old. And he's like, dude, your 30s are when life gets fun. Like, 30s are lit. I remember he said that. And it was very reassuring. Maybe you don't agree, but I think that's...
I'm 31 and I'm in so much pain.
I am in pain, mental and emotional, physical. Yeah, no, but
every day I wake up and I see the depths of reality from which I can never escape.
Remember when you'd be a kid and you'd see like a 65-year-old woman and be like, oh my God, she's 45. Like you had no idea how old.
Right. Or you heard somebody was like 22 and be like, you're so big.
Yeah.
You just
People in high school are like
high
adults.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
8th graders were like, that's the 8th graders.
Right. It's like nobody was old, everybody was big.
Right.
You're so big.
When I grow up, when I become a big person, I remember as a kid always going to my sister being like, you're trying to act like a grown up. Like I would always call her out. I'd be like, you're acting like a grown up. You ever do that? I guess you were though.
Yeah, I remember a thing though of like being a kid, and it was really like, you're expressing some form of autonomy. You know, that's really what we meant when we said you're being a grown up. It's like you're acting like
it was actually the opposite. It was actually
you're acting
authoritarian towards me.
You're acting like you're your own person, not someone's property.
Yeah.
Right.
Get out of here. You know we're all property.
Yeah.
You know we're all cogs in the making.
Yeah. We were talking about family shit we could talk about just in general about how families are structured and shit. We're talking about undemocratic things.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But there's also Super Smash Brothers Melee we can talk about. I mean, you brought out a black GameCube as a...
Well, I'm thinking of...
Yeah, well, see, my dad bought me
is that Need for Speed in there?
It is.
No, it's making me think about the group chat the other week and y'all realizing that I followed competitive Smash for the first time.
Well, we weren't realizing it. You like dumped. You were like,
I knew
have to
that. We
confess.
talked. Right. We had talked about that before.
Okay.
You played the new Smash in my house, and you were just like, man, people hold this shit over my head, man. They don't know how deep in this melee I am, you know?
Right.
Well, when you told me you were a Luigi main, I think like within the first couple weeks I knew you, I was like, this guy plays a lot of Smash.
Yeah.
If you're doing the
used to. Yeah,
if you're doing that shit,
yeah.
you're a menace.
Yeah, I always say I was a Luigi main before it became like a trend, which it did. You know, I don't know if it was like a couple games back. It was like they really boosted, you know, upped his rank in the game, and then it was like,
oh, you mean after Melee? They
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the second they added like online capabilities, it was, and now the thing that bothers me about the current Smash is that like the best characters are always going to be the ones that look the dumbest. It's the ones that are dumb as fuck. Like I think Luigi was part of that precedent. Like they Jigglypuff. They but
you're talking about in recent Smash.
In recent, like
I'm just
in
talking
Smash
about
Ultimate.
the Melee, top tier Melee. Jigglypuff isn't the Lunchbox, whatever the fuck his name is.
Hungry Box. Yeah, but but Luigi isn't. Luigi isn't like one of the top two.
No. No.
Melee is it's Fox and Marth and
and Falcon and fucking Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
That's like it, right?
And Sheik is up there in Melee.
But if if you were going
to see some Princess Peaches every once in a while,
into a competitive match like for Melee, the assumption would be that maybe the unspoken thing or the spoken thing would be, you know, the people that are going to win this thing are playing with Fox.
Yeah. I was just watching a short doc about when like dude won a tournament with Yoshi for the first time.
Wow.
After that precedent had been set, and it was just like he came into it, and everybody, even the commentators.
This isn't AMSA, is it? The Japanese dude?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the commentators are just kind of like,
man, I love AMSA, but can you see him taking a match?
And this is up against I forget what they're called, but there was this like
one of the 5 gods.
Yes, the gods.
Is it Mango?
That's the guy I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I think so.
Mango.
Yeah,
I think he's Jigglypuff, right? Or maybe he's
he wasn't playing Jiggly. If
he mains with Fox.
Yeah. But he wasn't playing with Fox in this match.
Right.
It was because dude was playing with Yoshi. He was just like, all right, I'm gonna play with one of my secondary mains or whatever. I forget who it was.
Well, he could do that though. I mean, like, he would flex on, he would embarrass people all. So he was sort of like a villain to a lot of people because he would just be disrespectful. Like,
it was like
seriously,
it was like even getting a stock off this dude was like a big deal,
right?
And so he would just play with whoever. And
ego trap.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. And dude's playing with Yoshi, and he like takes the first round, and then dude's just kind of like tensing up, get stressed out. I think he takes the second round also, and then the big like signifier for everybody was like, okay, he switched to Fox. Now he sees what the fuck is going on, and he realizes he's about to lose. And then this dude wins the whole match with Yoshi, and it just like changes the whole shit up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say though, you know, there's like different periods of like competitive Smash. Like the first one people usually talk about is like 2003 to 2007. I tapped in during the resurgence, which was like, people say 2013, but in my memory, I remember it. I feel like it started a little bit earlier than that.
When the kids that grew up with Melee started going to college is probably...
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That was me. I was in college.
Yeah.
And in that was like 2013 to 2018. Yeah. And the part that I was talking about where I like, or rather what I was alluding to in terms of feeling emotional was I specifically remember Apex 2015. My memory says 14, but it might be 15 when Nintendo sponsored the event, the Melee tournament, and it was like this huge, it was a big deal. The relationship between Nintendo and like grassroots competitive Smash is like complicated, but it was like it felt like, oh, this is like acknowledgement. And then when Reggie was like going back and forth with Hungrybox, it was like, holy shit, like this is like finally being acknowledged as like a legitimate like esport, you know, thing. But
I missed this whole wave because I told y'all in the group chat, but like Smash Bros was, or Melee specifically, was the last game I really played like just at the house with friends regularly. And I had a friend because I was a kid in the neighborhood who like nobody could beat, and so people like didn't like playing with me after a while. But I only had I had one friend, my homie Crit, that I grew up with. We would just go back and forth. He was always Fox, I was always Sheik, and I would always win. And every couple rounds, he would be like, I figured you out. I got your strategy. I got it. And I would still beat him. And so I thought I was hot shit because I beat this one kid consistently. And then I finally, this was before, as far as I was concerned, like online gaming was still a pipe dream, as you know, as far as I can say. It was like PS2, it was like, we knew it was possible, it was a thing for some people,
you could
but
technically
like,
do PS Online,
but nobody did it. And so like I was entirely not, and YouTube had just started in 2006 as I was starting high school. I guess that explains because I'm a little bit older than y'all, but like the second I got into high school was when I realized that there was a bigger universe than what I was used to. And there was a fucking kid whose name I don't remember to this day. He just insisted we call him Spider with a Y.
Oh, God.
That rules. Isn't that the name of like a snowboarding code brand or some shit?
Yeah, sure.
Spider?
Yeah.
With a Y?
Yeah. And even in school, before he showed up, I was also known as like the kid who was good at Smash. And then this kid showed up and just like changed the whole fucking game. I remember I played him in the, for context, I went to a boarding school. And so we're like in the common room playing this playing Smash. And I remember like he was kind of like fucking me up, but it felt even still. And I remember this was the first time somebody chased me off the map. And I was so spooked. I didn't play Brawl or Smash 4 after that. I just completely stopped playing Smash for years until Ultimate came out.
Damn, that long?
It was like I played it. And
never played it intensely.
Yeah, and there were other factors. Like I couldn't afford a new console after a while, but I legit just didn't play anything after that happened. And then came back and Smash Ultimate, and like now I feel like I'm aware of what you're capable of in the game, and I'm actually better at the game than I ever was, except that it's a completely different feel on Ultimate. So it's not the same game, really.
I always kind of have a hard time reading where Ultimate sits in terms of the Smash games in general, because it feels a little bit looser or more forgiving than Brawl even at times, but maybe I'm wrong.
I can't speak.
Remember Super Smash Brothers
for the
Melee? No.
Sorry.
I'm saying Ultimate, the new one, is a little bit more forgiving than Brawl, and then obviously Brawl is more forgiving than Melee. Melee is the most like technical.
They get progressively more forgiving, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. I just remember in college, this one kid had Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U, had 4 GameCube controllers. We had like an 8-person setup, and one person would be playing on the fucking iPad thing. And it was just like, that was just some specifically college shit, because it's like, when are you gonna find 8 people that have the free time and the willingness to fucking play a game like that for hours?
Right.
I'm some of my friends are folks say, I don't think y'all know, or maybe you do, but have been poking me.
Yeah.
Get back into Ultimate?
No, fuck that. Smash. I'm a Smash purist. I don't even talk about. I'm just putting it out there so before it's made a thing.
Back into Melee, you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No disrespect to anybody, but I don't give a fuck about any other. I do not care about any other Smash game at all. But yeah, no, Melee. Jaded Forum Melee Tournament, New York City.
Let's go.
I was gonna say coming soon, but we haven't planned that yet. But
I mean, we gotta
watch.
If we set a date, I'll train up.
Have some special guests come through.
Get my weight up.
The funny thing about just competitive gaming, like because Melee is one thing, but Melee is funny because that's like a game that's like accidentally really competitive. You know what I mean? Like
someone's gonna be like, "Why did he say fuck Ultimate so aggressively? Why did he say fuck?"
No one's gonna ask that. No one's gonna wonder that.
Right.
People know. People know.
Sorry.
I mean, I know. When I'm playing, I'm like, oh, this is fun. I'm playing a Smash Brothers game. I don't feel like I'm really like playing Melee. But
sorry, you were saying something though.
No, well, it's just like it's funny because Melee is so like accidentally super competitive. It was just like made away, and then I feel like it's a chicken egg ththing where I feel like the competitiveness came after the fact that like, oh shit, they made this like fucking really good. Like and the games that are like built to be competitive, like Street Fighter or like CS:GO or something, but just competitive games in general. It's crazy how the skill level is like the highest out of like any competitive thing ever. Like it's like ridiculous. It takes like literally genetic reaction time to be to even be competitive at CS:GO. Like you have to be an alien. Like I remember watching a TikTok and the guy's like, you will never be a pro CS:GO player. Just stop. You never will be.
Yeah.
And I remember watching another one, I think it was Shroud. A guy stitched a video of Shroud, who's a pro CS:GO, Valorant, Overwatch player. And he was like, yeah, guys, sorry, just like your 1,000 hours is my 1 hour, and that goes for 99% of people, and there's maybe 1% of people where that's not the case, but for most of you, you're just bad. You're not going to be good. And the guy stitched him was like breaking down all this guy's accomplishments and how he would like win at one game and then switch to a completely different game, and then like within months be competing at that game.
Right.
And it's like there literally is just like some people are literally just built different.
It's like a Sonic Fox. Just
I don't know what that is.
He is a black furry who wins literally every fighting game tournament. He's like he's like, I think he's won tournaments in, I want to say he's won in Smash, he's won in Dragon Ball FighterZ, he's won in Mortal Kombat, he's won in all these different like just like
an Evo type shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like crazy high level shit. He's just like known for being this kid. Like I think and granted, I don't know this super deep. I've just seen like the compilations of it, but like, and he's also the type to like flex on people, and you see those moments where he gets shaken. And there's one famous one where he has this fucking like wolf mask or hat that he wears, and there was one game where he took the hat off, and still washed the dude.
Shout out Crowcat, who, if y'all don't know, CROWBCAT, great YouTuber, makes video essays without saying a word, it's just compilations.
Right.
And he or they.
I also want to correct. I think Sonic Fox goes by they.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Makes these compilations of the. It's like something like the fighting game community is alive and well, or something like that, and it's compilations of people being ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous, saying like. Competitive fighting game people are ridiculous. It's hilarious. Bro. It's a hilarious subculture.
I'm not trying to circle back to the
No.
I just wanted to say on competitive Smash. Shouts out to Dr. PP, aka PPMD. That's my favorite Smash player of all time, and don't think I've said that publicly. So just wanted, in case he ever stumbles into this.
You could have made all that up. No,
it's real.
You know what? A point I hadn't thought about.
I thought you were about to pull out a signed GameCube controller.
Signed Dr. PP game.
It's a picture of a dick with like P.
No, when I show y'all like his arc, it is a movie. It is a movie, in my humble opinion, unlike any other in terms of competitive Smash players. That's why he's my favorite. Like in terms of underdog hero's journey, it's insane. It's ridiculous. Yeah,
you know that Twitter clip where it's like Shaq and Kobe, and it's like they need to make one of those for like Smash players.
Yeah,
just like them in the gym lifting.
Right.
It exists.
Just
It
controllers.
exists. Yeah.
Oh my god, like Halo 2, like Halo 3, Walshy, like competitive Halo players,
I don't
they would
know
have
any-
like the
I don't
most
know anything.
insane
I don't know
montage videos. Oh man.
You know what I hadn't thought
I
about?
will try and
Zach
sell y'all
loves-
on competitive
Zach loves
Halo.
Halo, by the way.
Halo's fire.
I played the first time I played Halo was in high school, and there were just like white kids who had so much fucking free time, and it was just it made it not fun.
It was weird. like the richer a kid you were, the better you were at Halo for some reason. I think
For
it's
some
'cause-
reason.
Yeah.
Who would have
I can't seem to draw a connection.
For some reason. Time access. Couldn't do that.
It's like the less stable your parents' relationship was, the better you were at Halo for some reason.
Dog, there was this kid, like, we used to play split screen. I ran the student store when I was in high school, so we had like behind the fucking counter, we just had a TV, and we would set up an Xbox there. And this one kid like pulled up one day and just like, he was just like, yeah, I'll beat all you guys with one hand. And he said
Halo?
He said it like it was like we were just supposed to accept that. He was like, yeah, I'll beat everybody with one hand. And everybody's like, okay, fucking show us. And he literally is just like gripped it like this. Not even like trigger or anything like that. He's like doing the triggers with his fucking pinky and index finger like that, controlling with the soft part of his fucking thumb. And is just like bodying everybody, and I'm just sitting here like, okay, well, I know what class consciousness is now.
Right.
All right. Okay, dog.
I'll beat you with one hand with my father's technique. It's been in our family for generations.
The Draco Malfoy of fucking competitive Halo play.
Yeah.
Right.
This controller is called the Nimbus 3000.
My father was a bumper jumper strategist. Like,
yeah, no,
dumb as
Halo's crazy. All competitive gaming I have a lot of respect for, because I mean, dude, I'm playing this new Call of Duty,
League of Legends.
And that one, I saw a video of a guy being like, this game is my life. Oh, it's just a game. It's just a game. Like he was like freaking out. Imagine if your dog died. Would you just say it's just a dog?
Yeah.
And someone's like, bro's literally comparing a game to
organic life.
To a living, breathing animal that shows emotion, and he just replies, yes, I am. And it ratioed the other guy. Like,
oh, wow. Those are the dudes that are worse at the games, though. They're the worst. The people that are good at games like League of Legends. I used to play Dota in high school.
They're like sociopaths.
Yeah, the dudes that are
just like.
I used to play. No, bro. I used to play this. I used to play Dota in high school, which is like the precursor to League of Legends. There was everybody was into it when I was in high school, and all the people that were super like loud and all this stuff and just like talking shit, they were just like okay.
Right.
There was one kid. His name was Kane. He was this Asian kid who I've never heard speak. Never heard speak. Literally not once. And he would just like. We would just be like, nobody would tell him we were playing. We would just go to the tech lab and just start up a game, and he would just kind of walk in. And he would just be like, "Are you good? Okay, I'll just I'll play."
And then body.
I'll play.
Right.
And then he would just like silently, just kind of like, and we would just be like, "All right, we're leaving. We're not doing this anymore."
Dude, it's wild. Like, I mean, even like it's like the point I was trying to make was, I'm playing this new Modern Warfare, and it's like I can play a video game and focus on it now for a half hour to an hour before I'm like, man, I've been playing a lot of this.
Yeah.
These guys play 6 hours a day. They literally work out to prepare themselves to sit in front of it and play focused for 6 hours a day, if not more.
That's
and like
sick.
the guys trying to break into being pro, they're playing for more than that. They're playing like 10, 12 hours a day.
That shit is fucking
and
sick,
it's like, I mean, there's a lot of content on YouTube where you can, like the guy, Dr. Peepee probably like has a video like this where it's like a documentary about these people and their arc. And it always starts with them like being in a horrible, depressed state. Where they're just playing games all day and they have nothing else going for them.
Mewtwo King is people who follow competitive Smash, Mewtwo King was like the face of what you're talking about right now. M2K.
Mewtwo King was the guy he played.
Amso was playing.
Amso was playing against Mewtwo
King.
It was
Not
the other
Mango.
guy you said.
Yeah.
That's the name. Yeah. But yeah.
It's I respect it because it's just like the level of focus that requires. Like, does it require physical exertion? No, not really. But
thumbs are
it does.
physical.
That's the thing with
true.
Mewtwo King. That was his, a
Wrists.
huge part of his thing is having issues with his wrists and fingers.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that played into his depression and like issues like even in competing.
Wow.
And like the self-sabotage around it. It
That's
was a
fucked
lot
up.
of stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
I remember I got so frustrated at Rock Band drums because the drum kits would like give you false notes and shit, and it would break because you play Guitar Hero like, okay, I'm playing Guitar Hero in 5th grade, I'm playing it in 6th grade, now I'm playing it in 7th grade, now I'm in 8th grade. Now Rock Band comes out, and I'm playing that. Now I'm playing Rock Band drums. Now I'm playing Rock Band drums, and I'm trying to FC every song. Like I'm trying to get every song without missing once.
Yeah.
And it's like you practice a song and the thing misfires and you totally hit it, but it didn't actually hit the note. And I got so sick of it. I was like, I'm not playing this until I have like a fucking MIDI drum kit.
Right.
Where it's like just actual drums.
Right.
Like, cause that's how seriously I fucking took it.
Wow. Damn.
Max bought a fucking Ion drum kit. It was a $300 drum kit with like that sensitive, like how you hit it as how loud it goes type shit.
Right.
And he was like a YouTuber. He was like a drummer on.
Oh,
like he was like a Rock Band YouTuber because there was a whole rock band drumming and also Guitar Hero YouTube.
Yeah.
Wow.
James like Coulter,
Yeah.
you can look him up. Wolfie's one of them. I Bite Pretty Hard. If you know, you know.
Wow.
Some people are gonna be like, "What the
fuck
What are you
just
talking
did?"
about?
Yeah,
You're saying the Guitar Hero heads?
yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
because it was big. There was you can look him up. His name's Danny Phenom, I think. Guitar Hero Phenom was his name, and he was the first kid to full combo FC Through the Fire and Flames, which is like obviously the hardest song. And
Wow.
he even like played Guitar Hero at like a Falcons game or something.
Oh,
like it was like
man.
that era, like where they were like,
Oh.
let's have this phenomenal Guitar Hero guy come and
That's fucking
and then a lot of them just got into like being in prog metal bands that no one gave a shit about. And
Right.
Just probably
just the most technical
work a sales job
music,
now.
right? It was all people that love like Avenged Sevenfold, shit like that.
Oh,
Opencollective.com/jaded forum.
shit, it's late.
It's
Not
just
late, but
wow.
You said 9:30?
no, we're
I'm
9:30.
cutting it.
Thank you.
I'm cutting it.
That was a great conversation.
Yeah.
Last thing about Smash before we wrap up. This
You got 6 minutes.
it's a short point, but this
We'll do a soft 6, all right?
we'll do a soft 6. But this brief doc that I watched, it brought up a very valid point that I hadn't thought about in terms of when you think about other fighting games and their technicalities and all these things. And he mentioned the fucking 17-hit combo that was blocked in Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Go Justin! That one?
Yeah,
That clip?
yeah.
Justin! Everyone's like,
when he jumps and blocks the high kick. Just
yeah. And then he switches into that special.
Yeah.
Dude, I watched that in high
Right.
school, and I remember showing my boss. Who was like younger, and we were like friends, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, watch this. And he was like, what was that? Like,
I don't.
that was pointless. Like,
I
you
get
just
it.
looked at me like I was supposed to have a reaction. And he literally said that. He goes, you just looked at me like your eyes were wide, like I was going to have a reaction. That's just the lamest shit I've ever seen. I'm like, Evo moment 30, what is it, 7? 34?
I love that
yeah.
there's a hierarchy here, and I get to just simmer in it over you and make you feel even less like a human being.
Well, you know
as
what
you opened
really
up and were vulnerable, I get a satisfaction out of that.
Right.
Did you know that?
You know what really pissed him off was that I was like set up so much better in life than he was, and he was like pushing 40, and he was just my immediate boss, and I'm fucking 16. That's
Wow.
what pissed him off, and he could also
Right.
tell I was smart, which I think bothered him too.
Right.
The choices you make in life.
Are you guys really cutting my 6 minutes? But no, but the
light. Get it?
Because I just
Fucking
because I
comedy!
didn't stand up. It's comedy. But the point the dude made was like that combo, that block, as insane as it was like designed to happen that way.
Mm-hmm.
it was like the second they made it so you could block combos, they knew you would be able, that somebody would be able to do that.
Some freak.
Yeah, some freak. Whereas Smash was like, there's all this stuff that they didn't intend for you to be able to do.
Sakurai talked about this on the new YouTube channel.
Yeah, right. Where it's like shit like wave dashing and all that stuff, and like why certain moves are named after the players that invented them, because you can invent moves in Smash. You can invent maneuvers. There's certain
designed to be more fluid.
Yeah, right.
You know?
And it's just like, so there's so much more creativity
That's
involved.
so beautiful to me.
Right.
That people invent
right.
shit within a video game.
Right. There's like as impressive as a combo in Street Fighter is, or a Dragon Ball Fighter is, one of those technical like 3-player Switch games. I forget what they're called, but
like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah. Like as impressive as they are, you're still only doing whatever the game allows you to do.
Right.
Whereas Smash is like, you can do anything the game can't stop you from doing.
That's a good way of putting it.
Which is fire as fuck.
And what's
it's like
crazy,
open world light of the fighting content.
Right. And what's awesome about that Evo moment clip too is like, people, there's like emulators where people play that specific, I think it's Street Fighter 2 or 3 Turbo or something.
Yeah.
And it's like they have like simulations where you just set up that scenario over and over again, and people just try and do it, and it's just like extremely hard even for good players to do.
Yeah, right.
Like when you're not in a competitive high stakes moment.
Right.
It's just alien shit.
Right.
It's crazy.
It's like the like, what is it? The innovators versus honers discourse, whatever. You know?
Honers. What do they do?
Please support.
Yeah.
Please support.
Please donate, support, so we can keep going and do more stuff.
Send us an email. Why not? Send us an email. I'd like to hear maybe if we start
fan mail.
Some thoughts.
Well, I was
More
thinking
thoughts?
if you wanted content that was maybe,
don't say content. Say
if
say
you
visuals.
wanted visuals.
Say visuals. Say anything but what they want us to say.
If you want to see moving pictures of us with audio visual.
Yes.
If you want to see more
see the talkies. No, but what kind of content
see more show?
do you want to see behind the paywall? I'm just trying to figure out all the worst words.
Oh man.
No, but Open Collective, like, what kind of bonus shit do y'all want to see? Because we have a lot of ideas, but you could also tell us. So jadedhub@protonmail.com. Send us an email. Let us know. And also feel free to share your thoughts.
Yeah.
Beyond just, comments on YouTube, which we do appreciate. But yeah, donate to that Open Collective. Thank you.
Opencollective.com/jaded forum. And if you're a tech person, a developer, designer, digitalzion.online, all the portals are there.
And
if you like stand-up, I do stand-up. Follow me on the
That's
internet. I'm going to do shows soon. I'm not going to say when, because I don't know.
Just follow him on the internet.
That's a good timing to restart it so we can do the clap.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a...
Wow. No.
That was no.
Buck threw it off.
That was fucked up. It was fucked up.
No.
It's not on 4. It's not on 4. It's after 3.
Okay.
No, man, you making it complicated. Invisible 4. It's like you're clapping on 4, but we don't say 4.
That's
4
after
is the
3.
clap.
And a 1,
and a 2, and a 3, and a...
That sounded like after 4 to me.